Hello, hello, my lovely friends. My name is Lisa, and welcome to Isla and Alice. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit more about beginning to junk journal, how to get started in a junk journal, and the dreaded blank page. So, I made a video last week where I put together a practice junk journal. And I called it, "This is just a test." Mistakes are welcome. And I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on this because I did get some questions and a few comments about what this was really exactly. So I had this thought that so many of us get journals. We maybe make them, we might make something like this. And we have, we've put in our pages and our junk, and we've created this amazing journal that we're ridiculously excited to work in. And then it sits for a few days. Or maybe we're given a journal, or maybe we've just purchased a blank journal with white paper in it, thinking that we're just going to explore the possibility of the blank page and everything that comes along with that. And then, it can become really intimidating, overwhelming. And so many times, myself included, you just spend a lot of time thinking about what you want to do or how you might want to do it. Or you watch videos, but you don't actually do it, right? Or you do it and you do the first few pages and then you're just annoyed as all get out because they don't look like the pages that you saw on Pinterest or on YouTube. And you sit there frustrated because you really, really, really don't know what you want. And so it occurred to me that practice is what we need. We practice everything and anything that we want to get good at. So why should a junk journal really be any different? So I came up with this, and I'm sure I'm not the first person to do this, but the idea was to put some pages together. Didn't matter what, just old pages, something that might just go into a recycle bin. Make yourself a small journal so that you literally go in with other papers that you have no emotional attachment to, and you practice gluing things in, you practice making pockets, you practice and find your style. You find the kinds of things that really speak to you visually, but without using your good paper. I have drawers of good paper. And we all have this. We buy this paper, we fall in love with this paper. The paper's beautiful. I mean, we all do this with supplies of all kinds, but paper in particular is difficult because really paper is the front line of this whole journey, right? And I know that sometimes I'm doing something and I'll pull out especially some of the double-sided scrapbook paper. I'm just like, it's so precious. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to rip it and make a pocket or make an envelope and then just be unhappy with it. And then I'll agonize over the fact that I ruined my really good piece of paper. And then it's a thing. And yeah, anyways, so this was my thought. My thought was to come up with a journal, and I've done several of these, and they work really, really well. And you just put the paper together, however you like. And then I did a video where I started, I'll link that video down below. It's long, it's about an hour. This one is not going to be an hour, so don't worry. But I just wanted to talk about, I just used book pages a lot in this. Book pages that were going to the recycle bin. So they were Dr. Seuss books that I had bought in particular to make journals before I knew that I didn't want my journal full of, say, Dr. Seuss. I love Dr. Seuss, but I found that the illustrations just didn't speak to me the way that I thought they would. So I had all kinds of pages. I had all kinds of Disney stuff that I had ripped out, and I was going to turn into buntings. And so I have a box, a drawer here, and I put all kinds of papers in here that I just don't want to use, or for my good journal, right? So some of it's just pages ripped out of other books. Some of it's just copy paper in different colors that I've cut down to use for other projects. Some of it is paper that I used and I didn't print on it properly. So I just kept all this stuff, and this is what I use for practicing. For a while I was working in my Filofax, and I was using things like this, and I printed a ton of them out, and then I was kind of like, changed my mind, don't really like it. To-do lists. So I saved all these pieces of paper that really, you know, they're just, I don't want to say they're garbage, but they're just not going to be used in the way I intended, right? So then, these were the sorts of things that I was using to experiment with in this journal. And then I was just using other pieces of paper to see what kind of things I might like to tuck into the pockets. Oh, here comes Sophie to say hello. Hello, Soph. How's it going? Okay. Can we, yeah. Hang on here. Let's just go down here for a second. Just give me 2 seconds. And so some of these papers I will take out and use in regular journaling. But this just gave me an idea, a plan, a prototype, if you will. A sort of, you know, again, just practice. So none of these papers are really quote-unquote good papers. They were just something to give me an idea of how I might put paper in, where I might like to journal, how I might like to journal. I'm a big fan of hidden journaling, like I said before, because I don't really like my handwriting that much. So there's a little bit of an art to doing hidden journaling, because you have to figure out places to hide where you're going to stick things, right? So again, this is just paper that came out of the printer awkward, and the lines were crooked, but I just ripped it up. And so this really helped me. So when I started doing this, here comes Sophie again. It allowed me to then move with a little bit more confidence, and I had made myself this journal, and then I had created this inside pocket, not unlike the inside pocket that I just showed you. So, you know, I just used copy paper to make this journal and stitched it together. I put 10 pieces of paper in, but you could use catalogs. Like, there's seed catalogs are coming out like crazy now. You know, old magazines, if you have a free little library or in your neighborhood, or sometimes libraries do free magazines, you could just rip up a magazine. Atlases, old atlases are great. Soph, we're kind of in the middle of something here, so scoot. Maps. If you've got old maps lying around, maps are a great way to practice gluing in. The other thing I wanted to mention too was in this journal, I really was trying to get rid of the blank page so that I wasn't intimidated. So again, I just used this pink copy paper that I had from another project, and I just glued it on there as a way to just cover up the page. So you could do that with just about anything. Like I said, old maps, anything basically that's kind of heading to the recycle bin works great for just covering up pages so that it gives you some color. So I put this Scooby-Doo page here, over the blank page. And I'm not a huge fan of this per se, but it gave me a jumping off and a starting off point. So then I could just cover this up. Which, I mean, a lot of what we do in our journals, the pages that we start with, end up getting covered up a lot anyways, right? So it doesn't really matter if you're not always super duper emotionally attached, like I said, to the paper that you're putting down first, that you're going to journal on top of. So what I'm going to do is I'm very quickly going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you these 2 pages that I did because I did the pages in this journal. So, yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. I have this is just the first page of this journal. And of course, this was inspired by this, which it's not rocket science, but it's a place to get started, which I think is what so many of us need, especially at the beginning. Once you build a momentum, then you're like, oh, this is easy. But sometimes it's just getting started. So what I really like to do, and I like the look of on this, with this kind of a pocket, I like to layer my papers and to look for different, contrasting colors. Here we have the stripes, here we have some floral, and then here we have some stripes again. And this is all a really great way to do hidden journaling, right? So I can journal on the back here, I can journal on the front there. This gives you actually quite a bit of space to journal. I love using old daytimer pages for the contrast of the color, the font, the numbers, the little squares. Like, it's just something that really lights me up. I really love using these a lot. And so you could, not only would I journal here, I guess because I think this is really pretty, I wouldn't cover any of this up. So then that would just go in there. I love these guest checks. These are so great for quick and easy journal spots. So I would journal there and journal there, and that gets tucked in, and then one little tiny piece of paper. And then, yeah, then that's it. That's easy. You're done. Right? Like, so not only does it look pretty and does it look really nice, but then you also have this sense of accomplishment. And I know it seems super, super simple. And for somebody who's been journaling and junk journaling for a long time, it's ridiculously basic. But for those of us that are just really trying to find our way and find our style, I really think this is a great jumping off point. So now this side of the page, in the beginning, in my practice journal, I had just used a piece of paper, an old, from a children's encyclopedia. I glued it down, and then I had made a pocket here, and then, of course, this little flap here creates a spot much like this one here. But in my new journal, I decided what I wanted to do was I glued down an envelope, but I did the same thing to the side. I left myself room to make a pocket. So much like I did over here, because I really love, I can't say it enough, I love layering pieces of paper. So this was great because then I can journal on the back of this postcard. And then I had folded some vintage writing paper, and that gets tucked in there. And then I have this envelope. So I could journal on here if I wanted to. And then inside I just tucked in some more vintage paper. So I can journal in that. That gets hidden. This would be hidden journaling. This goes on here. And then I would just keep this together with the paper clip. And then inside we have, I tucked two things in here. So I have this long piece of note paper, and then I have regular writing paper, which obviously is great. And envelopes are great, great, great for hidden journaling. So then that just gets, that just gets tucked in there. So yeah, so there you have it. So we have 2 pages done, and they look super cute. I love the color combinations, and now I'm ready to go on to the next 2 pages. So, which I've already been sort of playing around with what I might put here, maybe, and then this Raggedy Ann could be a pocket here. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. But anyways, I just wanted to do a quick little video and sort of give you an update, and as well another sort of going over this whole idea once again. So I hope you found this helpful. And here comes Sophie again to make sure that whatever I'm doing it right. And yeah, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And that's it. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a little thumbs up. And I really look forward to connecting with you again in the next video. Have a great night. Happy journaling, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye, everybody. Have fun. That's the most important part. Don't forget. Have fun when you're in your journal. The #1 thing that you should be doing is having fun. Okay, see ya. Bye. Are you going to journal? Are you? You can help Mommy? Oh, yes, you can help Mommy.